Hey everybody. Sorry for the lack of new video postings lately. I've been super swamped with some game development work, but I will be excited to provide updates regarding playable demos and some polls about what kind of game we should make. That's coming up in a later video. I also had a birthday this Friday, so happy birthday to me. But I do have some exciting updates with regard to the Mobile Suit Gundam RPG that I've been developing. I've been getting a lot of requests for collaboration and, how can we get our feedback put into the game? And so I have decided for a couple of different reasons. I have made the Mobile Suit Gundam role-playing game guide available as a Google Doc. I did this for two reasons primarily. The first is portability. You guys probably don't know this, probably don't care, but I tend to make updates and edits to this guide while I am at work or traveling. I do them on the fly, and then I come home later and reformat them in Adobe InDesign, and it basically just means double work. So this way I can make edits to the guide, and they are live edits that carry through to the final draft, so it just saves me a whole bunch of time. In addition, it opens up a whole new realm of community input and editing on these documents, because I had considered using some form of source control like GitHub or Bitbucket, but that would necessitate all of us using the most up-to-date version of Adobe InDesign. Otherwise, the edits wouldn't render properly between different versions, and it would just be a huge headache. Everybody has access to Google Documents, so we can all make edits and everything is live tracked and live changed. It's the best solution available for a community-based role-playing game guide. In addition, I've actually included a template, a guide, sort of a style guide, for both two-column and single-column layouts for the Mobile Suit Gundam role-playing game guide, so that you can follow along and use the correct table formatting and all that good stuff. It's in the same folder. I will put links below to both documents in the description of this video. Which brings us to our newest section in the Mobile Suit Gundam role-playing game guide, which is ability scores. Initially, it was a like-for-like 6 ability scores, just like in D&D 5e. 3 of them were going to be physical-based, like strength, dexterity, constitution, and 3 of them were going to be more focused on mentality, such as intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Now, that said, most of the combat, actually predominantly all of the combat in Mobile Suit Gundam, is going to be behind the cockpit of a mobile suit. So that kind of removes the physicality aspect from combat, and it sort of nerfs most of the classes because your ability score focuses are not going to be relevant to combat or really social interaction or anything. So instead, if we assume that because everybody's a human, that everyone has 10 or 50 or 100 HP, we all agree that all humans have an equal amount of HP, and everyone kind of has roughly the same physical stats outside of a mobile suit, then instead we sort of treat our ability scores as being all mental. That said, let's go through these because I think it is going to be a good discussion for us to have about what each of these ability scores is going to represent as far as skill checks and combat goes. Will could be best described as sort of determination, your force of will. It's most closely represented by strength in D&D 5e, but it's not so much physical strength, it's just how well are you at imposing yourself on other people, your intimidation, your sort of presence. Reflexes is the only thing that's a physical attribute in these ability scores, closely related to dexterity, just how well can you physically pilot a mobile suit. Engineering is our stand-in for constitution, and while it doesn't necessarily measure your hit points as a person, it does reflect your sort of understanding of how systems work and how your ability is to repair your mobile suit on the fly. Mentality is the stand in for intelligence or intellect, just how smart you are. This is your sort of book smarts. And, it reflects things like how perceptive you are and how insightful you can be. Psychic Pressure is the only ability score that's very unique to this Mobile Suit Gundam role playing game. It stands in for wisdom, but it is more reflective of your new type potential, your psychic powers. This would be new types in the Universal Century, but if you're playing in sort of a Gundam Seed universe, it would be your coordinator potential or something equivalent. Cunning is the stand in for charisma, and this is very important. It's a very important distinction because I believe that cunning sort of encapsulates both your charm as well as your wit and just sort of your ingenuity with regard to difficult situations. Which brings me to an important part between the distinction between cunning and reflexes with regard to stealth checks. You see, our rogue class, the Infiltrator, actually uses cunning as their modifier for stealth checks. The reason this is because in D&D, if you are making a stealth check, you use dexterity. How physically able are you to hide from your enemy? But in Mobile Suit Gundam, hiding a mobile suit, it's a big bulky thing. It doesn't matter how dexterous you are. In order to hide it, you're going to be clever. You're going to have to use every bit of ingenuity at your disposal in order to hide this massive thing, whether that means camouflaging it or hiding in the terrain somehow. And so I think that cunning is a much better adjective. It's a much better reflection of what stealth is in the cockpit of a mobile suit. So that's it. A pretty quick update. I hope you guys enjoy the new material, and I hope that you will contribute on the new public Google Doc. Again, I've put links below in the description to both that and the template so that you can use it at your leisure. I really want this to be a community-driven game. Again, I will have some updates regarding game development stuff later this week, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that. This has been a lot of work, so I hope that you guys appreciate it. I'm looking forward to getting into the new office setup and building some gunpla. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I will catch you later. Hey guys, if you like that video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you really like the video, check out my merch available on Society 6 and DM's Guild. Links below in the description. New products added every week. Thanks. Catch you later.